What's going on, everybody? So thanks for joining me. I've been cutting firewood today and taking a little break, hanging out by this amazing creek. It's super clear. I don't see any fish though. So what I wanted to talk about today and where we're gonna go deep is lies and how lies absolutely affect our lives, and especially lies that we believe, like just believe with our whole heart. So I want to tell you a story to just kind of give you an analogy of what lies can really do and how they shape your life, especially if you believe a lie as a child, how that shapes the rest of your life. So I want to tell you a little story. So my dad is incredibly neat. I, on the other hand, am not so much on the neat side. I lean towards more of the I like stuff everywhere kind of thing. My wife loves that about me. My dad, however, growing up was borderline OCD, borderline crazy about just where things went and how things were done and clean and neat, all those things, which is fine. Especially about his yard. My dad loved his yard and always kept his yard amazing. Every time we would drive up the street, our house was kind of at the end, he'd always say, wow, that's a really nice house. Whoever lives there must really take care of their yard, just obviously speaking of himself. You know, he just loved his yard, and whenever I would mow, I would try to mow it just right, and I could never get it just the way my dad liked it. So there was one time where my dad mowed the yard and, the grass clippings are on the sidewalk, and he would always sweep it off and make sure that all the grass clippings were gone and it just looked perfect, which is fine. I love that. It was my job. My dad asked me, he said, hey, what I want you to do today is I want you to sweep all the grass clippings off the driveway. And again, my dad was obsessed with it. One grass clipping, it's no good. And as a kid, I could have been, I don't remember the age, but I was maybe 8 or 9. But I remember this very well, and I remember thinking, I'm gonna do a really good job. I want my dad to be proud of me, which we all do as kids. We want our dads to be proud. We want our dad's approval. We want our dads to just be excited about us and just love us, right? That's just a natural part of who we are. I remember I swept and swept and swept, and I remember I did a good job. Well, I don't remember if my dad kind of was having a bad day or an off day, but I remember he came outside and looked at it or whatever, and he was like, look, Mike, I told you to sweep the sidewalks. Why haven't you done it? And I remember thinking, saying, Dad, I did. And he's like, no, you didn't, and he wasn't yelling. He was just, I could tell he was frustrated. My dad never yelled. He was just frustrated, and sometimes yelling and just the stern voice was enough. But no, you didn't. I told you to do it, and if you do it, you got to do it right. It needs to be done right. Do it. Now I'm going to have to do it. And I remember just, Dad, I really tried. I did. And I remember getting upset and crying a little bit and just feeling just broken, like, man, I really tried. And so I remember just thinking that, and that was just a memory that I have throughout my life. Now, 30 years later, going throughout my life, I have had this personality trait that I have made it my personality trait, that I am one of those people that can't finish a project. Can anybody relate to that? I start a project and I never finish it. For some dumb reason, I thought it would be a great idea to buy a house that I needed to remodel. Yeah. So I remodeled this house and it looks beautiful except for the tiny little things that aren't finished. Moldings on the floor, trim around the doors, just tiny things that would take me no time at all. I just never finished. And I always have just been like, that's just who I am. I don't finish things because they lose their luster, and I decide to, another project comes along and I wanna start a new project. That's my excuse. And I believe that was my personality. Like, I get excited about other projects and I don't finish it. Well, growing older and really, really deepening my relationship with the Lord and wanting to be the better version of myself, I started asking why. Why, God, am I like that? Because it would frustrate me when I would look at the floorboards and they're not done, or the baseboards and they're not done. Why can't I just finish it? And it would really just, honestly, deep inside, really bother me. And the excuse was, that's just my personality. But that wasn't the truth. So I asked God, what is the truth about this situation? Because I have a feeling that I'm believing a lie about myself, that what I say, it's just my personality, blah, 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 I started to think that might be a lie. So I asked God, point blank, God, what is the truth about myself? And over a period of time, maybe about a year, this memory of my dad and the lawn and the grass clippings kept coming to mind. And sometimes I'd forget about the question that I asked God, but this memory kept coming back, And finally one day it just clicked. The lie was that no matter how hard you try, Mike, you're never gonna be good enough. It's never going to be good enough to anybody who sees it. So why in the world try hard and finish? There it was. So when I was little, Satan saw the opportunity, prowling around like a lion, seeing whom he may devour. There I was, a young little lamb ready to be devoured. I was vulnerable in this state, and he threw out his fiery darts to me of this lie. Mike, you see, it doesn't matter how hard you try. It doesn't matter all the effort in the world. It doesn't matter if you think it's good enough. Everyone else will know that it's not good enough. Everyone else will think that you didn't do it or you didn't try hard enough. So why try? It doesn't matter. Don't finish things, because if you finish, all they're gonna do is come back and say, yeah, that's not good enough, or you didn't really do it good enough. So in this epiphany, in this revelation, at almost 40 years old, I realized why I don't finish things. It's because deep down inside, on the subconscious level of who I am, I believe that if I start a project and I finish it, it's not gonna be good enough. And not only is it not gonna be good enough, even if I finish and I think it's good enough, everyone around me, and especially the important people that I love, they're not gonna like it and they're not gonna approve of it. So I put up this barrier, this protection within me to keep me from being hurt. And that lie was, well, it's just my personality. I like to do other things. And here I am living a life of not to my fullest potential. So God went on this journey with me to show, hey, that is not who you are. Who you are, the truth of who I am, is that I am a person that can finish things. But not only am I a person that can finish things, I am a person who can finish things with excellence. I wanted to share that with you guys because I feel like there's so many people that can relate to that. Not only to the certain personality traits that we just kind of blow off as our personality, as who we are, to God made us. I want to talk about that because I feel like there's so many people that could relate to what I'm saying, to the lies that we believe about ourselves. And here's the thing. I didn't know that it was a lie. I honestly believe that that was just my personality. It's how God created me. God created me this, kind of floofy guy who just loved to go and do things and wasn't like my buddy Josh, who had to finish things over and over and couldn't go on to the next project unless something is finished. But what God revealed to me is, no, Mike, I did not create you that way. I created you as a person who can finish projects, not only can finish them, but can finish them with excellence. So God revealed this amazing truth in who I am, and it really changed my perspective on who I am. Now, it didn't immediately make me finish every project, but I instantly could see some changes in me, because it's 3 decades long of this lie that I believed, and it's gonna take time to undo. But I can already see the things in my life that I'm beginning to, when I get to that certain point where I'm like, okay, I'm done, but I'm not completely finished, I'm able to push past that barrier and finish a project completely. And still there's like that, I don't really want to show anybody, there's like that just awkward, something's wrong, and God's like, no, you finished, good job, it's amazing. Because again, the approval that I want is not the world's. I want the approval of my Father in heaven. And He is pleased with the things that I do. Not only is He pleased with the things that I do, He is absolutely pleased with the things that you do. So my challenge today is to ask God a specific question. God, what is the truth about this in my life? If there's something in your life that you just kind of feel is off, that you kind of blow off as something that's your personality, or something that you kind of do know that, all right, I might be believing a lie about myself, be bold, be brave, go to your Father who loves you desperately and ask Him, God, what is the lie that I'm believing about myself? and just go on with your day. Go on with your life, because he will reveal the truth. And again, for me, I asked that question about a year later, I got the answer. But it was through just life experiences and just, again, how he speaks. But I promise you that he's good and that he will reveal those truths to you. Not only does it reveal those truths, it brings so much freedom. Because now I'm like, wow, I am someone who can finish things with excellence. But it's an amazing thing to see how an insignificant, tiny little moment in my life as a kid set a course and a path for the rest of my life to believe something that just wasn't true about who I am. So think about that. That was one moment within my life. How many more moments, how many more little things dictate what I believe about my life? But not only those little moments, what about those big traumatic moments? What about those moments that are painful? What about the things in our life that are so locked away, so tight, so deep that we don't even want to think about it? But whether or not we think about it, those traumas, those painful moments within our lives, they change who we are, and they dictate how we act and how we believe who we are on the inside. I know from my own experience that I have had some traumatic experiences within my life, especially as a child. When I have gone on this journey inward with the Lord, I have gone into the pain with him to find out what the truth is about who I am from those experiences, and to be healed from those experiences, and be healed and to be set free from those, to not hold on to anger, hold on to shame, to hold on to, regret, all the things that I do anyway, because I'm so afraid to go in deep. It's amazing how if you go in deep, you step into the pain with the Lord, how he protects you, but how you can step out on the other side with an amazing new gift of freedom. So again, my challenge to you is go to the Lord, ask him the truth about just an insignificant, tiny little situation, and allow him to show you the truth. And from there, continue on in that journey with him and go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the lies that you might believe, and allow him to tell you the truth about who you are and who you were created to be. So I hope that wasn't too long and too blah, 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 all over the place, but I want you to be set free from the lies that the enemy has told you. I want you to know the truth about who you are and who you were created to be. That is why I'm here. That's why I was created, to set people free from lies that the enemy has told. So go ask the Lord those questions and see what he does. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed just watching me, cut some firewood and just this beautiful scenery and listening to me talk. I hope it was awesome. Please subscribe and please check out my other videos. Thank you so much.